Oh, hey, beauty queens! So, we're back in action with another video. You already know. No, but really. So today, I actually wanted to wait to film this video, but I was like, well, I'm gonna wait. I should just do it now. Like, about a week ago now, I had posted on my, why was I gonna say surgery? I had posted on my Instagram about my surgery, and basically I said something to the extent of like 5 weeks pre-op or something like that. So I didn't say what I was getting done, and then I got so many DMs and everybody was like, what are you getting done? So this is actually something that I never talk about, and I'm thinking about it now, and I don't think a lot of people know this about me. Even like people that are I mean, my close friends do know, but not a lot of people. I figured this is the best time to talk about my surgery experience. So I wish I had kind of like more information, not more information, but I could like go more into depth. But there's a lot of things that I don't and probably not going to remember because they were a very long time ago. I'm going to try my best to explain. So basically, what I'm getting done in 4 weeks now, so a month now, is breast reconstruction. So first of all, I want to say that breast reconstruction is different from a breast augmentation. So a lot of people, when I tell them that, they think, oh, you're getting your boobs done, that's nice, but you already have big boobs. That is not what I'm doing. I'm not getting a breast augmentation. What I'm getting done is considered reconstruction. So in 4 weeks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my implant swapped. So I have a saline implant currently, and I'm going to get, I think, a silicone implant. Honestly, I'm not sure because we haven't finalized. We're going to talk about it when I see him next. But I think I'm going to get a silicone implant or something different. All I know is it's not going to be saline because I do not want a saline implant again. But that's what I have now. For this surgery, I'm probably going to go with a lollipop incision. So if you don't know what that is, you could also Google that. But it's basically when they go in through the bottom of the nipple and there's a scar going down the breast to, I guess, how do you explain it? Like the bottom of the breast. So that's what it looks like, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go with that incision because I'm getting a real breast lift this time. The other surgeries, I didn't have a breast lift yet because we were gonna wait to do that to my last surgery till everything was like all good. Then we were gonna do the real lift and swap the implant. So that is why I'm getting a lollipop incision, because I'm getting a breast lift as well. Before I started my initial surgery, the first one that I ever had, I was wearing a B bra size, and obviously since my breasts were tubular and they weren't the same size, it was kind of like I kind of fit into it, but not really, because there were two different sizes and I just never fit into like any bra size basically. But I was wearing a B, and after the surgery I was a double D, and his intention was not to make me a double D and make me really big. He just wanted to fill the breasts where the expanders had stretched. He ended up putting a 250cc implant in. I think it's the smallest implant that they make, and I think that's a 250 if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, that's the one that I have, and I went from a B to a double D with the 250cc, and I'm getting the same size implant in my next surgery too. I'm not going any bigger or any smaller. I kind of just want to stay the same size. I don't want to go any bigger, so I'm most likely gonna do a 250cc again, and this is going to be my 4th surgery, I think. I know you're like, girl, how do you not remember how many surgeries you have? But I think this is the 4th one. If I'm not mistaken, I really do think this is number 4. So the reason why I've had so many surgeries is because I have tuberous breasts. So if you don't know what that is, you could just go and Google it and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. And this is not something that is like detrimental to your health. It's kind of just like a deformity. Basically, that's what it is. It's like having an extra finger. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like it's a little glitch in the system. So that's what I had, and I had it since I can remember. Honestly, I developed really fast when I was young. So I had boobs like, I'm not even kidding. I could show you a picture of me and I think it was the 3rd grade. And you could see that I literally have boobs and I am in the 3rd grade. But a lot of girls are like that and I was like that. I just always had boobs. Like, I just always was serving body. Always. Even in kindergarten. I came like, bam. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not kidding. I'm really not kidding. Maybe when I was like 10 or 12, maybe like 11 or 12, it was noticeable. You could notice that my chest was sagging, and it was really weird because when you're 12 you typically don't have saggy breasts, but I did, and I thought that was just because I had a bigger chest, and like I said, it was noticeable. So it was something that my mom noticed. And I was like, I don't know, maybe like 13 or 14. I was very young. Like, I was young and I was telling my mom, like, I want to get this fixed. I do not want to walk around like this. I just thought it was really odd. Like, for some people, like I said, this is not detrimental to your health. You do not need to get this fixed. But if you want to, you can. And it was definitely something that I was going to get fixed. And also, I forgot to mention this, they were also 2 different sizes. And typically, I think typically when you have tuberous breasts, it usually works that way. Like, you'll have one boob that's an A, and you'll have another boob that's like a B or a C. Some people are like very like drastically, you can see through their shirt that they have 2 very different boobs, to the point where they can't even get a bra to fit them because they're really that dramatically different. Mine were a cup size different. So I was always constantly, honestly, this was such a long time ago, but I'm trying to retrace my memory, and I remember I was always fixing myself. And obviously that was because I was very self-conscious, but I was constantly trying to fix myself and trying to cover it as much as I can because I knew that it was noticeable. If you guys just go and Google like tuberous breasts, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But basically you have a breast that's folded, so it looks saggy. It looks like it's sagging. So I had one breast that was sagging and tuberous, and the other was not sagging and tuberous, and it was smaller than the tuberous one. So like I said, when I was very young, I told my mom, I was like, can we fix this like as soon as a doctor will let me, because I don't want to walk around like this. Like, I was just so uncomfortable. I wouldn't wear certain things. I made sure that I was always in like a turtleneck and a sweater and something where you would not be able to see my chest at all. I just didn't like having one boob that was like a tiny little boob and then another one that was tuberous. It was just, I was just not into it. So when I think I had to be like about maybe 16, I went to the doctor basically just to like get it checked out. And she basically just told me, she was like, yeah, like you have tuberous breasts. And I mean, you can fix it. You don't have to. It's not something that's bad for your health, but you can fix it if you want to. And she was like, I could, you know, recommend you to a doctor. I don't do like reconstruction, but I could recommend you to a doctor that does do reconstruction. So she gave me the recommendation and I went to him and I saw him. And I think by the time I saw him and he checked it out, I was 17 years old. And I got my first surgery when I was 17 years old. So the first surgery, I can clearly remember and tell you what happened in the first surgery. So in the first surgery, he had to put expanders. So basically what expanders are hard balloons that they fill up to put into your chest to stretch the skin, because again, if you guys looked up what tuberous breasts are, you basically have like a really tight fold on the breast. So in order to get that fold to unfold, they have to put a balloon there to stretch the skin. So before I had any surgery, I saw him a couple of times. Clearly, I saw him a couple of times. And he like thoroughly explained to me, because I had never had any surgery or anything like that. I never even had like a tooth pulled. And because I was very young, he made it very clear that this was going to be something that was not to be taken lightly. This was going to be extremely painful. and probably the most pain that I'll ever experience. And he said I do this surgery to a lot of grown women who have children, and they say that this is comparable or maybe even more. So, you know, he was very good in that way, letting me know that it was really serious and this was something that I had to think about for a while before I came back to see him again, and if this was something that I really, really wanted to do, because this was going to be real surgery and it was going to be a hard recovery, and I had to think about it. So honestly, I didn't have to think about it. I knew that I wanted to do it. I was like, I don't care how much pain I'm in, I'm doing it. I've been waiting to do this since I'm 10, maybe 11 years old. Like I don't want to stall it anymore. So I went, I had my first surgery done. It was a 4-hour surgery and it went well. I came out, it was fine. For the recovery, it took me about a week, so not a long time. But it was exactly what he said it was going to be. It was extremely painful. It was extremely painful. And because he wasn't sure of how my bleeding was gonna go, he had warned me and my mom and my family that I maybe would have drains. It turns out I didn't need drains, so that was great. And really everything was fine. It went well. It took me like a week to like kind of just get back to normal, feel like myself again. And I think I had the expanders in for about a year. Yeah, it was a year. So a year went by, and after you get expanders, obviously they have to come out and they swap it with an implant. So because I was so young, he didn't want to give me a silicone implant. So that's why we decided to go with the saline implant, because he said, you know, God forbid anything happens, saline is supposed to be the safer option. That's what they say. A lot of people and doctors say that. I don't really know why. That's what they say. So I had a saline implant. So that was the second surgery, was taking out the expanders and swapping it to a implant, a saline implant. And that also went well. Did it go well? I don't know. I had like a little dilemma in one of the surgeries. I really don't know what happened. I think I was like sick or something, and they basically had to just like stop everything and sew me up because I was having like breathing issues or something crazy like that. I don't know. I can't remember if that was the second surgery or the third surgery. I don't know, but basically that happened in one of my surgeries. I'm still alive today, so everything's okay, and my doctor's amazing, so he was great. Anyways, so when I had gotten the expanders out, switched to an implant, I remember feeling like, wow, like so good. Like I will never forget. And guys, I don't even think it was morphine. I just think it was because the expanders hurt so badly, and I just got used to that like hard feeling in my chest, because they're literally like hard footballs in your chest. So I woke up and I could immediately feel like lighter on my chest, and I was like, oh my god, this feels so much better. So then the third surgery, I cannot remember what we did for the third surgery. I don't know. Like I said, I can't remember if I had 3 surgeries or 2 surgeries. Maybe this will be my third one. Maybe I'm lying. I don't know. Oh my god, this is such a bad video. This is why I didn't want to film this, because I wasn't like 100% sure on how many surgeries I've even had. This may be like a little bit TMI, but maybe not. So for my surgery, when I initially had my first surgery, my doctor was like, we're gonna go in through the nipple. So basically, my incisions are through the nipple. They're not under or anything like that, and I think that's because my breasts were tuberous, so my nipple was big. So he was like, we'll just go through the nipple and then put the implant through there, and then we'll reduce the nipple. So I was happy about that, because I also wanted them reduced. I don't know, I just didn't like them that big. Personal preference, obviously. I don't know what kind of nipples you're into, but like mine were huge and I wanted them reduced. So he reduced them anyways, and he also did the incision there. My incisions look totally fine now. People that do know that I have the surgery, when I show them, they're like, I don't see anything. Like I don't know. So that's a good thing, because that means you can't even notice. So my incisions look really good. You can't even tell. And because I was so young and I had my first surgery when I was in high school, the doctor told me, he was like, listen, I'm not doing anything crazy on you. Like, you're not going to go back to school and the girls are going to be like, oh my God, Madison, like, literally had a boob job over a Christmas break. Like, they're not going to know. I promise you, nobody's ever gonna know. Like, nobody will ever be able to tell that you've had work done on your chest, and nobody's ever been able to tell, and I've never really talked about it. And the funny thing is, actually, when I had my other surgeries, I was on YouTube and I came back with like big swollen ass boobs and nobody even said anything. And I guess maybe because at that time people weren't really talking about like surgeries on the internet yet, so I was not gonna go there, especially because I was so young. I didn't want to like freak people out and be like, oh my God, how old are you? Aren't you like 16 or 17? Why are you having plastic surgery? So that's why I just held off and I never talked about it. I knew that I would talk about it one day. So basically, that's like the summary of my story, is that I have tubular breasts. So I've had to have a couple of surgeries to kind of get where I want to be. And this surgery that I have coming up is an important one for me because this one is more about like aesthetics. Because when I had my other ones, I was really young, so he wasn't really worried about like, I mean, obviously he was worried about aesthetics, but he wasn't like, I don't know, I can't explain it. He was more just trying to make them look like normal, like not tuberous, but extremely modest. And obviously I want them to look modest. Like, I'm not going for like the porn star look, but I'm 25 now, so I kind of like have an idea of what I want them to look like and what I'm expecting them to look like. And my doctor that did my first initial surgeries was amazing. And I don't know if I'm gonna say his name on here. I don't know if I should. I mean, I don't see why not, because he's amazing, he's great. I'm actually going to a different doctor this time, and I know you're probably like, why are you going to a different doctor this time? I had the plan to let him finish my surgery. I really didn't like want anybody else. I really didn't have anybody else in mind, but honestly I really just wanted to like get it done. Like, I didn't want to keep on waiting and waiting and waiting to have my next surgery. And every time I would go see him, I would follow up and everything, and they would just never get back to me. His office would just never get back to me. I would call, you know, the girl who sits at the desk, and she would just never get back to me. So I was just like, I don't know if he's busy. I don't know if he like doesn't want to work on me anymore because I scared him that one time that I like almost died, or like what's up. So my aunt actually works in a plastic surgery office, so she knows a bunch of plastic surgeons, and there is a plastic surgeon in her office, or you know, the plastic surgeons that she knows that specializes in breast reconstruction. So it is what he does, it's what he specializes in. He does it all the time, so totally trust him. I know he's amazing. His name is Dr. Neil Tana. I'll put his name in this right here so you guys can see if you want to check him out. He's on Instagram if you want to look him up and do your research. I'm very excited. I think he's going to do an amazing job, and yeah, I'm really excited. I can't believe I have 4 weeks left. I have to like start mentally prepping. I've been watching a lot. I know you're probably like, girl, you're crazy, but I've been watching a lot of like BBL videos, and I noticed that I think it is like the world that we're living in, and I think these girls go into surgery thinking, I'm gonna come out and my whole life is just gonna be changed. I'm gonna look amazing, I'm gonna feel amazing, and that's it. They're just gonna put me to bed and I'm gonna wake up and my life is gonna be changed. But I think that you need to go into surgery being extremely realistic and understanding that any surgery that you have is, I don't want to say a risk, but I guess a risk, because you might not come out looking like what you want it to look like, or I don't know, but it's something that you really have to think about and get yourself mentally prepped for. And I think women today take surgery so lightly, and something that's not a big deal and you could just go have done and everything's gonna be amazing. But I think there's more to it, not just physically, but mentally. And I think a lot of women don't talk about that. But anyways, I think I'm gonna wrap up the video now because I've talked my ass off. So I will see you guys in my next video. Let me know if you have any questions. If I can answer them, I'll definitely answer them. So ask away, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.